Would I be wrong if I go on a vacation with my mom instead of attending my father's wedding? My 26 male parents, 44 and 45, have been high school sweethearts. My mom got pregnant straight out of high school and has always supported my dad through everything. She worked double shifts so that my dad can start a business and earn significant amount of money. She never splurged on luxury goods, and even after my dad's business became successful, my mom saved and encouraged him to invest more in his business. And how does my lovely dad decides to thank her? He has an affair with a woman who is only a year older than I am. They have been divorced for 3 years now, and my dad publicly started dating his mistress without any shame. My siblings have a sort of strained relationship with him, while I haven't talked to him after the divorce. I hate to acknowledge his existence, and hate it even more that he seems to think he did nothing wrong. He is getting married to his mistress in 10 days, and I can tell Mom is still hurt by the divorce. She told she is going to Romania where her parents were born. She always insisted my dad take her there, but since my dad was busy cheating on her, he never took her. I also wanted to go with her because I need an excuse to avoid the wedding altogether. My siblings told me that if I don't attend the wedding, they wouldn't as well. So now my dad has been on my neck and trying to guilt trip me into attending his wedding. But I already booked the tickets to Romania. My relatives are saying if I don't go, I will be disrespecting my dad. But I don't think he deserves an ounce of respect from me. Plus, I am pretty sure their marriage wouldn't last more than 2 years anyway, considering how much she spends just to show off. I'd rather be with my mom. Go with your mom. If anyone did any disrespecting, it was your dad, by having an affair. Although if you still want to have a good relationship with your dad, then you'd better think it through and discuss it with your siblings. I thought it through. I know people will say he is a great dad blah blah blah. I have heard everything, but I know for sure good dads don't hurt moms, and my dad did just that. I don't care if he leaves me in his will or not. I earn my own money and have been living comfortably by my own. I have no reason to be polite to him. Also, my siblings are all old enough to know what they want. My youngest sibling is 18. I never pushed them or poisoned them against dad. If they want to have a relationship with him, I am no one to come in between. People always say stuff like, "You're being disrespectful," or "You're ungrateful," like it's a gotcha. But no one seems to ever point out how that's exactly 100% true. Like your aunt says that, but you literally do not respect him. She's right. He has not acted in a way you find worthy of respect. So why should you respect him after how he has behaved? Why does your aunt think the threat you will come across as disrespectful would change your mind? You don't respect him and have no reason to. Respect is earned, and your father doesn't deserve your respect. A wedding invitation is not a summons, and you have every right to say no. Good for you for supporting your mom during this. Perhaps after your vacation, you and all your siblings could do something together with your mom as well. You could always tell your dad you'll go to wedding number 5. I am petty as hell. I was thinking about buying a book on how to remain faithful and leave a note that says, "Practice makes perfect." I hope by your 6th wedding you will learn how to stay faithful. You could add, "Sorry I can't be there. I promise I'll attend your wedding to your next mistress." Not the a-hole. An a-hole would show up at a wedding they do not approve of. She is in your age group. She should be dating you or one of your buddies, not your dad. Have a great trip with your mom and explore your heritage. Edit. Thank you people. I see that most people think that I am not doing anything wrong. I am packing my bags for Romania, but I was very skeptical. I wanted people to guide me if I was doing wrong. Thanks to those people, I am even stronger in my decision. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother he is stupid for letting our pill-addicted sister destroy his life and for putting her above his girlfriend? I have a brother that I will call Daniel and a sister that I will call Jamie. Jamie is addicted to opioids and she is deep into it. I will add she has never had an injury, she's never had a prescription for them or been given them legally. Her addiction destroyed her life. She was in university and was expelled. She was engaged to a good man who loved her, but her addiction destroyed the relationship. She's been in and out of jail and has been homeless. It has destroyed her body and her health. Jamie puts opioids over everything. She says they are better than the happiest day of her life. She has told me many times that if she had to choose between me being alive and the pills, she would choose the pills every time. She said this to other people including Daniel. Jamie says she loves pills more than anyone she's ever met, and opioids are the most important thing in the world. I tried to help Jamie and be a good sister to her. I tried to get her to see a counselor. I tried to get her to go to rehabilitation. I gave Jamie money and tried to help when she got arrested or was homeless. However, now I know there's nothing I can do. The sister I love and used to know is gone. Jamie doesn't care who she hurts or what she does to get pills. There is nothing I can do for her. I'm estranged from Jamie, and in my mind my sister is gone. However, my brother Daniel still tries to help her, and it is destroying his life. Jamie stole the laptop Daniel's company gave him for work. He didn't want her to get arrested, so he told his company and the police it was stolen from his car. It was a lie, but his company and the police accepted it. Then Jamie stole the replacement too. She sold them both for pill money. The second time, Daniel's company didn't accept his excuse, and in exchange for them not telling the police that he lied and paying them back for both laptops, he agreed to leave his job quietly. He already lost a previous job because he skipped work too many times to help Jamie. She has caused problems where he lives, and now he was told he has to move out. He spends all his money on helping Jamie. One time, he even lied to a doctor about being hurt and gave the pills to Jamie so she wouldn't withdraw. I can't even describe how stupid it was. Daniel was engaged to a woman that I'll call Kate. Jamie was not as bad off as she is now when Daniel first met Kate. Kate was like me and tried helping and being patient. However, she had enough. They have to move because of Jamie. Then Jamie ended up homeless again, and Daniel wanted to let her move in with himself and Kate. Kate said no, and Daniel said Jamie was more important to him, so Kate ended the engagement and moved out. Now Daniel asked me for help. He asked me to try and convince Kate to stay with him, and to help convince his landlord to let Jamie stay with him until she finds another place to live, because Jamie isn't allowed there. He also wants me to help him with Jamie even though he knows I won't. When he asked me, I told him he's stupid for letting Jamie ruin his life and for putting her over Kate. He blew up at me and said Jamie is our blood and family and nothing else matters. Am I wrong? Daniel doesn't seem to understand why Kate is done with Jamie and why his landlord doesn't want her there. Does this make me the a-hole and a bad sister? Not the a-hole. You will likely need to distance yourself from him. Be gentle with him, and I would suggest he get a therapist and read up on some books about families and addiction. My oldest brother was always trying to help our middle brother, who constantly was dealing with jail time and his addiction. My oldest brother finally moved across the country once the middle brother had to be court-ordered to rehab for a minimum of 2 years, or it was prison for him. My oldest brother felt responsible for taking care of family, but he now sees he needs to take care of himself, his wife, and kid. The needing to take care of themselves is key. I had to tell my mom that I wasn't taking a vacation to see them this year so I could save the personal time off for when my sister ODs, or my mom has a second heart attack and I have to fly there for whatever funeral is first. Not the a-hole. She has told you guys multiple times she would choose pills over your lives. And he still helped her and let himself lose 2 jobs, a place, and his relationship. He needs to realize that he's only hurting the both of them by helping. Yep, coming from someone who used to use. She will always choose the drugs over her family until she decides for herself to help herself. Once oneself is that deep into it, it becomes nearly impossible for any outside help, and the brother is only enabling and causing more harm at this point. Sadly, he is enabling her behavior at the expense of his own. If he doesn't stop, he's going to look around and find he has nothing because of his actions at this point. If this is the road he's choosing to follow, there is nothing more you can do for him. Distance yourself, but when he finally wakes up, then be there for him, with the understanding Jamie is not a part of you helping him. By the way, do not let that help be money. Be an emotional support, help him find a therapist, a place to live that is safe, and a job. Get him groceries if needed, but never cash. Only do this once he wakes up to the reality that he cannot help Jamie and that he needs to let go. I'm so sorry your family is going through this. Not the a-hole, your brother is enmeshed. He will need to figure this out himself. My sister has a long history of substance use. She destroyed many relationships along the way, including the ones with me, my family, my brother and his family. We are no contact going on almost 20 years now. Your brother can't save your sister, only she can do that. You can't save your brother either, because only he can decide to remove himself from his enmeshment. Am I the a-hole for telling my parents that my brother is a lost cause after he ended up in prison? My brother and his friends robbed a bank. During the robbery, my brother shot a bank employee. My brother's friends, the 2 who were in the bank with him and the driver of their car, were given 20 years in prison for the robbery. My brother, however, was given 45 years. 20 years for the robbery, and 25 years for shooting the employee. The only reason the employee made it was because one of the customers was a nurse. She saved the bank employee, and if it wasn't for that, my brother would be spending the rest of his life in prison instead of just 45 years. Besides evidence from them planning the robbery and being found with the stolen money after it, there is video from the security system showing the robbery with all 4 of them there. There's video of the shooting too. My parents spent all their savings and sold their house to help my brother for his trial. They knew about the evidence and the video, but they still spent all the money they had. Now they are planning to leave their jobs and move closer to the prison so they can visit my brother every week. They are already in a lot of debt from helping my brother, and I think leaving jobs where they have good pay and high seniority is a stupid idea. The cost of living is higher there, and the apartment they are going to rent is smaller than where they live now. Neither one has a new job there. Both of them worked at their current jobs for a long time and worked their way up from a junior position, and they might have to do that again. Also, my grandparents live here. They are getting older and my parents are only children. I feel like they will regret leaving their parents and not seeing them often. My parents want to move close to the prison so they can visit him every week. They say letters and phone calls aren't enough to replace weekly visits. If they stay here, they can't visit him every week. I wasn't going to say anything at first because it didn't affect me beyond bothering me. However, my parents said I might have to give them money if they don't find new jobs soon after moving. At that point, I told them I'm not giving them money and that my brother is a lost cause, so they should keep their jobs and stay here. Am I the a-hole for saying that? This was not a case of mistaken identity. My brother almost unalived someone. It wasn't like in the movies where the good guy needs money to help someone. They didn't steal money to give to charity. They got caught pretty soon after the robbery, buying things like expensive watches, and they were looking at cars and vacations. My brother will be in prison until he is in his 70s. And I can't believe my parents are giving up more after already giving up so much. I didn't even say anything to them until they told me I would have to give them money. They didn't ask me or say it was a loan. They just told me. And now they are angry, and I feel like they are angrier at me than my brother who almost offed someone. I don't regret what I said, but my parents say it was wrong. Was it? Edit. I'm not American. I didn't say where I live for privacy, but everyone seems to think I live in America. I do not. The prison system in my country is different from the one there. You are definitely not the a-hole. Even if they say the money you would give them is a loan, they would never pay it back. Stick to your guns and do not budge. Did they spoil your brother growing up? Is that part of the problem? Why do they not believe that he did this, with all the evidence? Apparently they are blinded by some thought that he's just misunderstood and will defend him no matter what. They can do that with their money, but you have zero responsibility to give them money for this fool's errand. My parents know what he did, but they say he's their son and that I'll understand if I ever have children of my own. So it's not that they think it's a mistake or he didn't do it. They just say they have to do this for him. I always thought they treated me and my brother pretty fairly growing up and didn't spoil or favor one of us over the other. But now I can't believe how much they are giving up for him. Your parents sound like a lost cause more than your brother. The fact that they demanded money from you and didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I wouldn't give them a dime. Sorry you are going through this. Not the a-hole. Tell them if they need money, rob a bank. Bonus points for getting in prison and spending time with their son as they wanted. Have you brought up your grandparents to them? I don't think they understand what giving up everything to move to a town to visit every week may do to their mental health. How far away is the prison? Couldn't they just visit often? What do they say about moving away from you? Another thing, I work with our local prison and several of the inmates transfer prisons. I don't know if there is a guarantee that he will remain in the same prison. I feel for you, I feel for them. Hopefully they can step back before they make this leap and get some perspective. It is almost certain that he will be in this prison until he is released. I don't agree with them moving, but my brother will probably not be sent anywhere else. My parents just say my grandparents should understand what a parent will do for their children, and I will understand if I ever have children of my own. If they stay here, they won't be able to visit my brother every week, and they want to do it. Get a power of attorney for your grandparents ASAP. Make sure their credit is locked down and their property is not mortgaged. Not the a-hole. My grandparents have everything in order. They live in a retirement community with different levels of care. They don't need physical care or help with money. They have everything in order. My parents can't do anything to them.